I got coffee, I got blueberries. We're good, we good, we good. We good. We good. $35 minutes. Oh shit.
We're in Uganda. Uganda's had a pretty good spell the last 25 years. No major civil wars. A little bit of an Ebola outbreak every so often, including right now. And they are the alcoholism capital of Africa.
Wait.
One favorite type of booze the locals make is called waraji. We're gonna go make some, drink some, and hopefully not go blind.
I go blind? How can you go blind? Virgin.
Vous conseillez quoi pour
Hey,
préparer
hey, hey!
une tournée expat?
Get this ad out.
Pourquoi pas la bourse?
La bourse, tu investis ton...
In 2004, the World Health Organization released its Global Status Report on Alcohol and Health, finding Uganda as the top contender for per capita alcohol consumption in the world. Since
Whoa.
2011, the numbers have only increased.
Said it was Russia that kept drinking. Said the Czechs were just drunk people. Real alcohol is in Uganda.
Basically, making Uganda the drunkest place on earth. So when Vice heard about Uganda's countrywide production of a type of moonshine called waraji, we were interested. But after we discovered that people were going blind and dying from drinking waraji cut with industrial chemicals, we knew this was something we needed to taste for ourselves.
Making its way through my system. I can feel it kind of spreading out.
Following the release of the World Health Organization's report, the administration of President Yoweri Museveni, acting through Uganda's parliament, ordered a commission to be formed to fact-check the report's findings. If you're wondering what prompted a reaction that seems like the geopolitical equivalent of an angry work email, here's some context.
Yes.
Museveni has been president of Uganda for 27 years. He came to power after fighting a 6-year bush war against this guy, who had been president from 1966.
Czechs are unique. I love going to Czechia into a restaurant at 1 p.m. and seeing everybody with a beer. Yeah, it's awesome. I feel like I talked to a bunch of like Czechian people. Whether it was Dutch, that doesn't really come back to the stream, or through I don't know if you remember that girl that came here, hanged out a bit while we were playing Deltarune. She was also a Czech with her boyfriend. So yeah, it's nice. It seems really nice. I need to go to Europe and just get drunk at each country. I do. Wait, but you go? Is Czechia like close enough to your house? Like, how do you do that? Is that like 2 hours? You go take a beer at the bar, you come back. That's kind of sick. That's kind of sick.
To 1971, before being ousted in a coup by this guy, who was a sociopath.
Nice.
This guy gave himself lots of medals, royal titles, and ruled with an iron fist until he was deposed by this guy, who was then president again until he lost a civil war against the National Resistance Movement, led by our old pal, Museveni. Running up to Uganda's 2006 election.
Classic instability, constant like overthrown of the government. I live like 30 minutes away from the border with Czechia, so I'm very often there. Oh, I see. That's really cool. That's really cool.
Museveni and the now political National Resistance Movement abolished presidential term limits. On top of that, Museveni has been lying about his age for 5 to 6 odd years in order to avoid the maximum age for the presidency stipulated in the country's constitution.
Okay, well, at least in a context where your country is so unstable, how much is that there's like a thing about at least you have a president that's like able to keep the government stable for like more than 10 years. Yeah, like ideals of democracy is they're still like holding up, and we still want to like work towards that. But I feel like the comparison of like each 10 years there's a overthrow of the government, but at least now there's a dictator that's like there for 40 years or some shit.
When the commission, put in place by Uganda's parliament to investigate just how drunk they were at the International Office Party, made the decision to appoint Dr. Kaban Kabanuki, professor at Makerere University and director of the Victory Rehabilitation Center, to head up the commission, it struck us as uncharacteristically sober.
What is Ugandans' relationship with alcohol like? Do a lot of people drink here?
Oh yes, a lot of people drink alcohol because in most of our communities it is part of the culture. A student, a head teacher, a village chief, a community leader, they are all meeting at drinking in the various groups.
It's just a ritual thing. It's like a social thing. Drinking is part of like way more.
About the subject, the more we begin to understand not only the extent of Uganda's
Because like there's a really interesting thing with your social, the social place that alcohol holds into like the relationship you have to others. It's a communication thing to drink alcohol. So I wonder how much is there like a reality to that thing. Like how much could you compare like Russia? Maybe there's like a more lonesome epidemic of drinking, while maybe in Uganda there's a more social aspect to drinking, but it's like a bit too much everywhere. So you know, like usually you say like you need to drink at the bar or with your friends. You don't really want to drink alone. But like maybe that's like what happens if you can drink pretty much everywhere, but like people do. You know, the same way as people before smoke cigarettes like all the time. I don't know what you know what it was like in Europe, but like I feel in Quebec, you talk about your grandparents or your parents, people were smoking indoors until like the 80s and 70s. Well, today like there's nothing of that. And so here I wonder like if in Uganda there's like a really huge aspect of like drinking socially. It's like it's to bond with people, and just like it became like just a thing.
but also just how different the problem manifested.
Like where did the problem? Well, yeah, how do the problem manifest? Like I feel like you approach like alcoholism as a thing. It's like it's for dealing with emotion and addictions. But like I wonder like how much you can approach that problem to like the specifics of that country. How much is like more? I don't know. Of course, it's cheap.
in different parts of the country.
I was saying that.
So we headed out of the city, 40 kilometers up into the hills above Kampala, to a village in the rural Kalero district.
Bird sounds. Whoa.
Running breaks your joints.
How many has do you think we're going to have? Is that AI? Is that AI? How many has are we going to have?
Thank you. In our area.
Rich people YouTube? What do you mean rich people YouTube? What do you mean? Vice? This is old. What do you mean rich people YouTube? Yeah, of course it's going to be rich people YouTube. I'm a rich content, dude. I'm too rich. Of bitches. I have no bitches. There's a lot of cool documentaries out there, you know? Doggy! Little dog!
Where do you guys?
Why can't these guys be my viewers? Why can't I just have a little commune of like Ugandan kids in my chats? What type of content do you think?
Where do you guys make the where do you make the waregi here? Cool. So, is this somebody's house?
Nick, you're basically one of these kids. Now I think about it, you're one of these kids. That's you. Local waregi maker.
Yeah, waregi hut, huh? And you're the one who makes it? Can you explain how, like, what's happening here?
I peel them and put them in a drum, and then squeeze this juice out by treating and leaves them
What's
for
your
2
basic
years.
still? You've got the mash in there. It's boiling and fermenting. The vapor from it comes up through these copper tubes, then condenses, you cool it off there, and it drips into this gas tank.
Alcohol consumed in Uganda, you find about 70% they are drinking on local brews. One would not.
They're making it themselves. I wanna go there. Me too.
Indeed, the local stuff, it has definitely some impurities. It's not hygiene.
But we need to be careful. I feel like it's like, oh, I'll just go to Africa, and then you get jumped by being a white rich guy or something. You're like, oh, you know.
And there's your finished wararagi. Seems like it might be strong. Yeah, that tastes like liquor.
Here we are.
It's actually pretty smooth. Like this tastes really clean and fresh. How long?
Yeah, whenever we get killed. Yeah, let's go to Africa. Let's go right now. Congo, me and you. Get stuck in the jungle. The whole process right from the bananas take the whole month. Get 4 jerry cans of waragi, which is 80 liters. I'm going to get you a sample of a cold one and you can taste it. I'm going to get drunk. He's going to taste.
Do you mind if I kill this real quick? Oh, thank you.
Going to get drunk. And doing his interviews drunk. Like,
This used to require huge Hollywood budgets.
How much do you think? I forgot what I was trying to say. I got a blank. Well, that commentary is over.
A native language corruption of the English phrase war gin, waraji was originally contrived to embolden Ugandan soldiers in the King's East Africa Rifles during World Wars I and II with what the British cheekily referred to as Dutch courage. Much to the colonial governor's chagrin, the beverage later became the drink of choice for those resisting the crown during the drive for independence in the late 1950s and early 1960s.
So take away the king from this country, become independent, enough instability, so each 10 years is like a some sort of like overthrown by some groups or I don't know what. And then we have like today this guy that's like been there for like 20 years. Oh, I see. Okay. Drink becomes a cultural thing for independence, becomes like more like, you know, identity things. That identity things makes it like it's more prone to be like a social thing into the interactions. It's cheap to make.
That's great. Thank you. It's even better. So you can kind of taste the banana more with that one when it's cooled down. Is there some reason that women make waragi more than men?
The main reason is that mostly of us women in this business is because we have families and children to look after. Personally, I have many children in school. So I have to work very hard, pay school fees for their bright future.
Master.
Sure, yes. Give him an extra 10,000. Whoa. Gave him an extra 10,000 shillings after the other 50,000. I said it to only 60,000 shillings. That was a mistake. You should have consulted me first. By the way, you know, in India, there's a village in the mountain where it's reasonably believed they are descendant of Alexander the Great, and when you're there you're not allowed to touch them because they think their race is clean and yours isn't. Really? I feel India have like a lot of like neat little communities like that because I don't know what, but like I feel the way they live their spirituality in India is like so different than like how religions are lived in the West. It's like I've got a friend that's like I don't know. I look. I need to. I don't know him enough, but like he had this background of like he went to India for a while for like high school. It was in this community of like these people that were pretending to be like friend to with Gandhi, but like it was this weird thing. They were like, oh, we are the one that killed the Nazis, and he was talking about like how the book they had. It was like about transcendental. It's like meditation of Buddhist thing, but at the same time they talk about like catalysm or some shit. So I've in even with the rare viewer we had, they even talk about like they went to like Jesuit school and so like that. There's like a weird thing there. They spoke a bunch of weed there too. Classic Aryans, classic Aryans, classic Alexander the great children. They're too pure. That's wild. That is a wild community. You know, that's so human but so bizarre. Feels like so bizarre. Like it feels like cold, but at the same time, it's like how much do you say that those are cold communities? Because I feel that's like it's been so long that they probably have that tradition or some shit that's like just bizarre human interaction. You know, it's like what it's like kind of like anthropology cold too. When you watch like indigenous people, it's so weird sometimes like the way they're going to have I don't know how to really say this like the way they're going to experiment the way they're going to perceive their own reality, you know, the space they are in or something. I don't know. I was saying they should have consulted me first. You should have consulted me.
Selected districts, you find their livelihood is significantly dependent on the alcohol itself. Yeah, more than even 60% of the income of the people have gone to school, they have even graduated from university out of selling alcohol.
Does the government care that you make Waragi? Do you ever get like interfered with?
You have to have a license from the government. So it's like there's also like this side of dependence. It's like alcohol becomes this object socially to like make yourself like be able to have money. So that's one way to like be more dependent to it. And if the only way to get like money out of it's making alcohol, you do it, right? Also pay the taxes.
You said some people come up from Kampala to buy your Waragi. Why would people travel this far?
What do you send? You can watch it later if you want. It depends on how long it is. 30 minutes. Elijah Village, a world famous weed mountain in India. I'm down. But what about we watch it another time? I feel the more it goes on, the more we're going to have a lot of great reactions to do, okay? I'm gonna put it in your corner. That's interesting. I kinda want to do it, you know? But maybe not right now. Today I really want to focus on this thing here. Because I feel it's like a really interesting scene, social scene. Ugandan alcoholism. Right. But I'm down. I feel like there's a lot of like cool documentaries you could watch, you know? They're like free on YouTube, which is just super cool. And I think Vice is like one of these like things. It tastes nice and is organic. Because I use bananas. Most people in the city use factory rejects or sugarcane.
That sounds way worse. I would, yeah, bananas are a lot better than factory reject sugarcane.
Looking for nicotine pouches in Canada. More Canadians than ever are
and
getting
ads,
the pouches they want.
classic, more ads, 8 minutes.
It's kind of like just African version of sorry. where you roll dice and then you move the little colored pieces around to try to bump the other guys off the board. No, not anymore. The ladies are all over there. They're kind of segregated, kind of middle school dance style.
White boy being there. Oh, I'm outside of my camera. Or liquor.
Addiction is addiction, because the moment you are addicted, the symptoms are the same, whether you have been taking Uganda Walaji or Changa or Kwete or what, there is no difference.
So do people only drink like Wareg?
Yeah, but like how much is that addiction a problem? You see what I'm saying? And I feel like in our modern society we have like a problem when it comes to alcoholism. But is there like a way to be like in this community, like having an addiction and being an alcoholic is not as bad? Is not seen as problematic. It's more of a normal thing. So it's like there's a more acceptance of like being that. Which plays
beer and other things too.
It plays about like how you're going to consume, how much is like okay to consume. Drinking 2 bottles of beer is like drinking water. Yeah, just have a liter of water again. Will get you drunk then and there. Easy drunk fast. Often you have to drink for it to be considered addiction. Okay, so basically it depends of like how much you lose control by it. What are the reason you're drinking? What effects it has? So there's like a bunch of ways you can like approach it. But as a society, maybe it's like being more addicted to like alcohol and being alcoholic is not as bad, because getting drunk, even if you cannot do the best of your stuff, is like it's more fine, you know. It's like as a community we agree that it's fine to like have more alcohol. In our modern society, it's more like if you cannot go to work, if you're spending too much money, if you're losing control each time you're drinking, all that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But if your society say that it's fine to lose control because everyone else does, are you going to say that it's going to be as problematic? So it depends. So I guess if you're questioning your consumption, just often how much it's impacting. Are you losing control when you drink? Are you drinking alone with some friend, or is it like only on certain occasion? So you can see, you know. My uncle.
What's the hangover like? Like, we're drinking all this. How bad's it gonna be in the morning?
We can zone people easily. But the youth can take it and go about for our daily activity. Okay, in here, as a sociologist, there's a way to like study like culture and stuff like that, or anthropology, I guess. How much you think that this white kid with this camera kind of also like trigger like more consumption than like what they are actually living with? You know what I'm saying? It's like how much they usually drink that much, but now that there's a camera about alcohol and there's a white kid, they kind of like put a show of it. You know, like just feeling seen is like going to like change the way you're going to interact, even with your alcohol, I guess.
When a child
Kid, when a child is burned, sometimes it comes in some communities.
even given some alcohol.
It's given in some
You
alcohol.
say they give the child alcohol?
Yes, in some communities, yes. Even when as soon as he's born, as part of initiation, the rituals, it is part of our culture.
Even that thing, like how much like you normalize like just being drunk. The consumption of a different increased at the time he was there. Yeah, for sure, it probably did. But like I feel like when you're trying to make a documentary and trying to like paint a social scene and try to like document you as a scientist, as a social scientist or whatever, you need to think about that, you know? You're going to influence the interaction just by being there. Being is a wide, it's still odd, you know? It's like how does it feel?
For you? For you? Yeah, is that okay? Yeah, I'd love some. There we go.
And how strong is it?
Perfect.
Is it all alcohol or is it like more like beer? Seems like harder than alcohol or wine.
Tuganagwe. Making friends.
It's a social thing, you see what I'm saying? Better like beer. It doesn't seem like that's beer. Like they seem like it's harder. Like the way they express like they're oh, it's like hard liquor.
Look at me.
With the day wearing on and the festivities beginning to take a physical toll on our hosts, we realized it was time to get these folks some dinner.
Like there's one thing about like participating into like that culture and like living, but like I feel this kid was like he's not a kid because they're not from Eastern Europe. He's like a little like British guy or something. You get there, you'll be fine.
So we're gonna go get some food for the party. I get the feeling this means.
And also, I feel like it would have been interesting to like have a more interesting analysis about like what's happening. I feel like it's showing us pictures and like kind of like okay, people are drinking, nice, but I feel it lacks some deeper analysis that could be like really interesting. Like what role could you take out of the alcohol? Is there like a social thing about like the alcohol in Uganda and in these communities? You know, I feel like since the beginning, my sociology brain kind of like keeps like sparking up, like, oh, that could be like a great, interesting like way to like make that social object more prone and like more interesting to see like how it affects the people and how they're living their alcohol. While here, I feel like that the commentary kind of just like showing alcohol. You know, it's like okay, cool, okay, they drink, okay. Like I want like a deeper like analysis about like the role of alcohol into the social interactions and how it builds from the culture or something like that.
Get something.
I don't know the background of the guy that wrote this this little video, but I agree it's like some deeper review. It's just documenting a way they're drinking, but not much more than that. But yeah, it's still interesting. It's like great pictures, you know, it's great videos. But I feel like there's like cool interviews in there too, but maybe it lacked some direction, maybe. We'll see. It's still like half of it.
Food. Probably something we're gonna have to watch die before it becomes food.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is
There's like a whole dragoon of kids behind us now. Is this dinner? I see. Oh lord. No.
Like even here, it became like just a thing about like, oh, in Africa they killed a goat and they drink and there's like black kids doing dance and drinking. You know, I feel like there's a lack of like something out of that. It's like, you know, I mean, it's made like 15 years ago, but
Kind of isn't a vice party until something dies. We're gonna eat that. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
His last day on Earth.
Kind of feel bad saying this about a goat that's about to die, but that thing's balls are enormous.
You know, even and even like really enough, you know, like how being drunk changes the way you're going to feel. You know what I mean? Just think if everyone is drunk all the time, it doesn't like everyone is kind of always in the slosh. You know, just like sort of like I don't know, mental slosh thing. Which I don't know why, but I feels like this documentary, the way it's filmed, you kind of feel drunk with them. I don't know how to say it. There's like you kind of feel like that sort of drunkenness out of it, out of watching this. It's like now they're killing goats. You're drunk and now they're going to kill a goat. It's something like really violent in there. That's still cool to like, you know, for our little Western sensibilities.
Like Bruegel's village life scene into like some perverse take on the old Judaic scapegoat ritual.
They could make this like quicker. They don't have to fuck with it, dude. I remember, like, I had a friend that, like, did, like, a course on veganism. And at the end of the day, it really feels like, even, like, your relationship to animals and living other things, it's really connotated by the culture. You know, the sensitivity you're going to have towards, like, killing animals and what you really consider like do animal feel stuff and stuff like that, you know. You're drunk while doing it. It's not the same sensitivities. Well, at least it wasn't as, you know, it was kind of fast. Now he's dead. He is still kicking, see that? Look, there's still more blood. This little music, it makes for a really weird dichotomy here. Yeah, well, what can you do? Those people are probably barely aware of their no, don't say that. They're aware of their existence. It's not about like their consciousness or some shit. They're aware of their. What do you mean? Don't say that. They're less aware. That is so dumb. I'm just saying that, you know, like between cultures, you're going to like see stuff differently, and there are. It's not like they're less aware. What the fuck is that? We need to be really careful about like not. You see, there's also like a thing about like anthropologies and like trying to understand like stuff. It's like you really want to be careful about like it's like putting your culture into like their culture. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't want to be like like the colonizers being like our culture is more advanced or some shit. You know, and they do. I just tell you know what I mean. We need to be careful with that, dude. And like really, and the thing you're doing is also like you want to interpret the experience they have through their own experience they have, not through our experience. We want to see, like, if we can go back to alcohol, we want to really be able to understand the role of the alcohol through their eyes, not our Western eyes. You know what I mean? That's where you'll get like the real picture of like what alcohol is, you know, for them. Even for the, you know. What is that, guts? When we get drunk, I can take them. I don't know if they'll be able to eat.
This was in the goat about 20 minutes ago. Give it another 20 minutes, it'll be inside me. Hopefully tempering the kind of mood-fueled like Borgalian pandemonium we just witnessed.
Borgalian pandemonium. That's funny. I mean, I understand why it's normal in their culture, but I don't really have a problem. With that. It's just a lack of education. Yeah, but I feel it's like when we talk that way, it makes us like judge their thing. It's like, oh, they need more education or something. They're like, they're not there yet. They're not like, they don't have the right sensitivity. They're not moral or some shit, which feels really colonizer-ish. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know how to approach it. It's still like, I agree. It's like there's a way to like treat animals before killing it. But isn't it true? I don't know how to really approach what you're saying. It's like logically it makes sense to say that in the context of our Western culture, but I feel it's like that approach is like kind of missing the point of their experience or something like that. And now you want to study this. This is like the thing you're saying is like more political than like actually just seeing and approaching and studying what's happening. You know, I feel like, oh, lack of education, that's like a politic thing. It's like, oh, we need to like do something about this. When here, I'm trying to more point out to be just watch what's happening, really be able to just see what it is, not have like a reaction about like if it's good or bad. Just like, how is it? You know, and that's also another thing. Like when you try to like anthropology or sociology, you don't want to be political. You want to be careful to just be able to watch what's happening without approaching a certain like reaction about like what to do with this. You know, just watch it. How are the things there in front of you, outside of you? If you could put a camera there that floated and was invincible, and you wouldn't be able to do anything, just like take a picture, how could you take that picture? You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. And that's why I'm kind of disappointed. It's great. Pictures, scenery is good. They have like nice clips, but I kind of like my analysis. It kind of misses some analysis. That's the thing. It kind of gives the viewer its own interpretation. But I respect your non-judgmental approach, but what is our goal? Solving a problem or passively observing? I really think there's the value of passively observing. I feel at least how I do my science, like when I study sociology or psychology, or even like to I guess hear more anthropology. Substance, not that much, but you know, I feel it's really being able to observe passively first. Because what happens is that if you're going to try to solve the problem, you're going to be biased in the way you're going to observe the thing. If you really want to be like able to pass a judgment politically, I think you first need to really be able to watch objectively what's happening. And so at least that's how I approach it. I really feel it's like if you really want to learn about something, you need to like be able to like really see the thing for what it is and not add any solution to what it is, because you're going to bias how you're going to see it afterwards. And you know, sometimes you could say like sometimes you have to like have opinions. If you're going to study Nazis or stuff like that, or like extremism or like terrorists, you kind of have to have like some side some you know morality over it. But you know, I get it. So I guess it's where you want to position yourself. I don't think it's bad. It's just like I much prefer the approach of like seeing for what it is and not take a political approach. But there's a way to like have a political approach to it. But I think one feeds way better the other. If you really want to have a political approach, you need to first really see the problem for what it is without judging or being biased. You know, and that's really hard to do. You know, from the perspective of the people living that thing, not your Western perspective. What really are the actors living? How do they feel that situation?
Supporting operation is a little haphazard and loud. Everybody's just kind of like jockeying for position on the flame. I don't know. We've been doing this for like 30 minutes too. I have no clue when this is going to be done.
Beach. Yes, go. And I guess here it's more about journalism than like doing whatever I'm talking about. Journalism is a bit different. It's journalism are just good about documenting. That's why it's like pretty to watch. It's documentation, not really analysis or some bullshit. Even if you know, that documentation could be like directed like something else.
You're getting my head rubbed and trying to eat some goat that's way too hot for me. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening. This is how you party in Uganda.
Take this drunk guy out.
No.
You know, even the choice of music, it make it seem like they're like some kind of like tribal
As our
shit.
new friends began to hit the deck one by one, we noticed that besides her initial sip during our interview, Mr. Scalera was the only one who hadn't touched a drop of the waraji during the party.
Is waraji something that like people drink here like every day, or is it just kind of more for special occasions, for parties?
Yes, they drink waraji here every day. There are those who can go a day without it.
What would happen if they stopped drinking it?
I'm not quite sure, but it's just like how some people feel when they don't eat food. It's the same feeling. You see how they approach like addiction? They don't see it like as how we see it. For them, it's like, oh, well, some people are hungry. And it's fine to be hungry. Some people are just more hungry than others. There's not like this type of like, you know, here in the society, I feel like we see alcoholism. I don't know in Poland, maybe it's different, but here in Quebec, for what I've grew up with, there's like a certain like education about, oh, don't drink too much. But there's like, well, some people are angry. You know what I mean? How can you be addicted to food? Everyone needs foods or some shit.
It's like their medicine.
He's drunk as fuck. They're just like with a bit make him stand. Because they're raping him. Do shit. Make him stand. That kind of shit you won't be able to stand. He drank a lot and understands nothing in the moment. There he goes. Must really love drinking. But also, like, how are going to see, like, these people? Is there, like, a thing where it's fine to drink, but, like, there's going to be a weird sense of, like, when people drink too much, like this guy, now it becomes a problem. Or maybe they don't care either. Or it's, like, more fine or something. This one is a lost cause.
Everybody gets out of work. Everybody lets
You,
their...
you know what I'm saying? I feel like if someone was that drunk in our context, you wouldn't really like just sit on the floor like that. You know, I feel like there's a lot of people just hanging around with other people on the floor. I don't know, Sid. Like I feel like if you're going to get that drunk, you're going to kind of be put apart. You know, if you get that drunk, you're like, okay, we're going to put you in on the sofa or somewhere else, or like otherwise it's like teens partying or something.
Worries, watch.
Do you know what I mean? It's like these guys were like more older. I feel like in our culture that's a teen thing to be like that drunk. Then when you're an adult, you don't really go there. Maybe if you're an alcoholic, but
Away in a stream of oregi. Somebody kills a goat, and the day is over, and you start anew the next day. What
Great experience.
The city, though, is another story. We're gonna go check that out.
okay, so now the city. Two different vibes. That was still nice. That was still a nice shots. Nice, really cool. Can't paint the debrief. I don't care. I think their lives are much more ordinary than ours in the sense that they don't have much duties, so yourself being hungover isn't that big of a problem. Maybe that, yeah, I guess you could say something like that. You could take an approach of like, because their job is not as big or some shit, they have more space and they're bored. And there's like a thing about being bored in group and you just drink. Maybe there's a thing about that. I don't know. They didn't really like approach it that way. But that could be like a way to like understand the role of alcohol. That's an interesting like take too. Oh, the bird picking up the trash. You see, here we have like seagulls. There they have like fucking they're fucking like vautour. Whatever that bird is called. Like but those are the seagulls in Africa. They look so mean. Nothing but. And you see, I feel like now that you're in the city, you're not going to see that much like drink. I don't know, maybe drunken people out in the wild. You're going to be eaten a bit more, maybe.
Our visit to the very traditional Waragi operation in Calero had ended with a lot of older men on the ground before sunset. It seemed like we were watching people drink for the first time, but based on what we observed, that was probably just the everyday norm. Curious about how moonshining worked in the rest of the country, we visited the Kataza suburb of Kampala to explore a much larger and much, much grittier setup.
But imagine it's like it's also like the scenery. You have that scenery and you're drunk at the same time. It feels really like weird. You're drunk at the same time and then you kill a goat. It's like the organization of your daily life affects how you're going to like experience it too, you know? The combination of like the things.
Oh wow.
The little kids.
Oh, this is Far Cry. Hello. Hi, how are you? Oh, the kids came with us. That's cute and distressing. Because this looks
kids
like
are just there.
some sort of creepy industrial slag yard filled with bubbling vats of half-buried booze.
Margie's prepared the house. Inside there.
Can we see? Oh wow. Oh, I can smell it. It's bubbling.
Kids everywhere are kind of the same. They have like this feeling. You feel any kids from anywhere, they have the same feels. They're all curious or some shit.
And how much does each of these, like a whole barrel? How much waraji comes out of that?
This one is 20 liters for Waragi.
Wow. So 40 liters a day then, basically. It was a big operation. How many people work here? Is it?
We are 10.
There are 10
Okay.
people.
We are 10 people.
Oh,
Others work in the morning, others daytime, then others in the evening.
why do women make?
Little company.
Like, is that? It feels like everybody we've met who makes wareji is a woman.
It's the only way of getting money. Employ himself.
It's the only job a woman can give herself.
We need to work out for everything, but earn very little. We use liters in Canada or gallons. We use liters. So it's a lot. It's like 40 bottles of like a day or some shit. You know, another interesting like thing is like how do they organize themselves? Like how do they organize their work here? I know it's like another like sociology thing, but like how do they organize this shit? You know, 10 people. How do they organize themselves? Like what are the roles? Like girls are associated with the certain roles. Like I see guys are probably like dealing with the vaccine administration and the selling or some shit.
When you go to these,
How do they spill the money? How do you go to these urban areas?
Depending on one's income status, and the communities, the poor, the majority in these slums or what, they depend on the locally brewed wareji.
Even if like a bigger approach of like cities, they have like, okay, there's going to be the brewery that's going to feed the local scene. Those are great pictures.
How much do you sell a liter for?
A liter is 10,000.
A lot of 10,000 shillings, 5 US.
What time to use?
What time they use these?
This one 600.
Okay, that's
600
600
shillings.
That's what, 1, 2?
1, 2.
Ah.
In 1965, the Ugandan parliament enacted the Nguli Act, requiring a license for brewing and distillation of all locally produced alcohol. But, for really obvious reasons, the Nguli Act has never been successfully enforced, as unlicensed production of waraji rampantly persists across the country.
And pretty open too.
I'd like to buy a couple bottles if possible. Whatever she puts in there is gonna kill a lot more germs than water would have.
Even here, like the exchange itself, well, how are they going to see the exchange as like a economical thing, as an economical subjects? That's interesting too. There's like this approach of like, okay, you can see alcohol by its consumption, and how do people like actually live the alcohol? But is there a way about the object itself? How it's going to hold a certain connotation economically? Is there like a way, because it's like kind of illegal at the same time? There's like acts they're not supposed to do. But is there like something about like how valuable it holds? What kind of social value it adds as an object too? And how it's going to impact the way they're going to exchange stuff.
Yes, that's ours. This is Robert, our driver. As you can tell by his ability to gulp down bootleg liquor.
Can we go over and see the drinkers?
In Uganda, the people who are unemployed, the poor, because of the limited funds, the limited money which they have, there is a lot of binge drinking.
Love binge drinking, constant drinking. White boy. Go, Nichols, it's you.
Oh, thank you.
You have to come to the place of your brothers and sisters. We could not believe that an American young man will come here. But really, God bless you for that fact that
Well,
you honor all the Ugandans as your brothers.
thank you. I'm glad that
Thank
us
you.
going up and drinking is an honor to you.
So this is how the place called. This is how it goes on. How they drink from. That's the first thing.
It helps to pass
When
the
the day's
time.
done, when the work's over.
Oh, you see now you have like more rationalities. I guess they have like a bar or something. 2 times they're like really glad to like see some American like taking an interest in for like their daily lives or some shit. I was probably drunk during that speech too. Who cares? I feel like it really felt genuine, you know. And we saw that thing 2 times, like there in the city, but even when he was like in that rural place, I think there was one guy that was like kind of doing the same thing. I felt genuine.
Neighborhood bar. It's great to meet you, James.
You're called Thomas.
You're called Tommaso.
Oh, just Tomas. Thomas.
Thomas.
Thomas Morton. My last name? Morton.
Molden.
Tell me what that means.
Okay. Absolutely.
It's a kiss.
Oh, it is.
The manager. It's a Polish guy.
Hey.
It's good.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? It's like they just pass the little like bottle. I don't feel like when I go to the bar, people drink that way. That's like a way they're drinking that's like really feels not intimate, but like there's a camaraderie. That's like I feel it's not the same way that we consume alcohol. I don't really pass my beer like that. And I keep seeing that in the movies. Like people just pass their thing. They're like, here we go, white boy. The bar, they do the same thing. Yeah, I drink on my thing. For sure, it felt honest because you're more honest after drinking. Yeah, but I feel like even then, I don't know. It's not because you're drunk that it doesn't like show a certain part of like the irrationalities or something.
Great.
You like it?
It's nice and strong.
Your other brothers, you should come and taste.
Who? Which one? Oh, him? Yeah. Yeah.
They call it sulfuric acid.
They call it purified magnesium.
See why he gave it the name. Here. Very good. Then.
And somebody's great the tongue in then.
You should.
Things going down.
God, you should have tasted that stuff I was drinking out of the gas cap. That was insane.
Maybe they're winning something out of it, but still. Maybe there's something we don't know behind the scene, but like it's still interesting. It was insanely strong.
In April 2010, more than 80 people died after drinking waragi contaminated with high amounts of methanol over a 3-week period in the Kambala district.
They think they are drinking the alcohol when it is actually adulterated.
It's like when drug dealers like stamp out their supply and they put filler in it. Like whiskey. Yeah.
Arrête ça tout de suite.
Non, s'il te plaît, va-t'en de mon écran, mon gars.
Tout pour être heureux.
Wow. Oh man, that's a lot stronger than yesterday. Oh, I didn't need a second after that.
A lot stronger stuff in the sea.
You guys, you are taking a video, you don't know whether you're going to sell it in Africa or we don't know.
You don't know.
But everyone believes that you are going to sell. We don't know.
Oh, okay.
Everyone, that's our local mentality.
That you're going to sell it here. Oh, that's interesting. Also, just no, that's away from like alcohol by itself, but like economical like rationalities. If you're going to make something in the community, you need to give it back, sell it here. You know, why come here and sell it elsewhere? I think I wonder like how much is that from like the colonizing thing. You know, they now they're like really feel more strict with it. You know, it's like they have like a background, like they gotta know that the country were colonizing by like white people or some shit. You know, I suppose. I wonder if that mentality, that logic, also shown into like just the way you're going to approach like economy. If you're going to sell something, you need to sell it from where you know you're placed in. All the way from America to Uganda, East Africa, how do you benefit?
From America to Uganda, East Africa, how do you benefit?
How do I benefit? I get to come to Africa. I get to hang out with. I get to come to Africa and hang out with you guys. That's how I benefit. This is fun, man. No, this is fun, man. This is my reward. You're hanging out, dude.
Thank you. It's a point.
Okay, I'm not mad. You let me speak.
And even like just like a relationship to this stranger, like how do they see like that? There's like, just a white guy. Why is he here? Nice lie right there. You think it's a lie? I don't know. I think it was genuine. I just didn't. I don't think he understood. Maybe it was like you know. I don't think he understood. Maybe I don't understand too, but I feel there's something there too. And again, I don't know if I can generalize like that one dude experience to like the community or whatever, but I think the honest answer would be money. Yeah, probably. Like part of it. I don't think that's only money, but like it's part of it. But I think here there's a thing about like oh that benefit needs to go back to where he took that information. You know, give back to the place you've been or something. Just don't take it and leave. I really feel there's like something about like a logic about like colonizers there. You know, it's like why you're going to be a white boy again? You're going to come here, do your little study and leave and don't give anything back or some shit.
So,
Yeah!
Well,
that's Berkeley.
It's like an industrial slag heap. There's these half-buried drums in the ground. General kind of like caking.
Which is really interesting to see. I know it's like not the main goal, but just that thing there. I feel there's a lot of like
stepping into the very early years of the Industrial Revolution from like, you know, the Arcadian shepherd days. But it makes a lot more money, and it's a lot stronger. Better and probably a lot worse.
Actually, don't think their approach towards colonizer is as bad as you're saying. I don't think it's as bad, but it still holds into their mentality, I'm pretty sure. The same way, it's like, I don't know in Poland, but I'm sure there's like a way that the past with like how Poland was like with the blood, it still holds a certain thing in the mentality. You know, how you're going to approach stuff. It still holds a certain value. It's maybe I'm putting like I'm drawing a picture that's like way more extreme just to like see the form that emerged, but I still feel there's something there. There's still an influence. I wonder, like, it depends on how much they know too. I don't know. I don't know like how African people sees their own history, because it's kind of like, you know, a lot of fucking society traumas there, and it makes sense that, you know, instability, they got rid of the king, fucking, I don't know, Uganda for sure, I don't know, probably British people.
So after you've got your wareji and got a little buzz on, everybody comes down here. This is Kalagala.
Oh, nice. Third place. Just like a little, like,
it basically
public place.
Night. It kind of looks like Cardiff or like Glasgow or something on a Friday. It's tons of people out. Everybody's staggering, picking fights and hugging. A lot of women out who look like they're charging. It's sort of like Britain's lasting legacy here, you know? Instead of rum, sodomy, and a lash, Ugandans opted for gin, no sodomy, and hookers.
It just ends there. And we have like drunk people pictures with nice synth. Those are great pictures. Nice. This was great. We'll never know what happens at the end. I don't know why. Check out more Vice documentaries. Can I see them all here? What is this shit, dude? The hell? Give me a second. What the fuck is that? It's a playlist. Why did they made a link that way? Got a bunch of shit here. Old ass documentaries. There's probably cool stuff here. The Cannibal Warlord of Liberia. The King of Cannabis. Liberian cult leader thinks it's just... I mean, it's content. It's content documentaries. There's like a really like a shock values. It's so like 10 years ago, like they were, oh, it was like shock value documentaries. Prostitutes of God. It's all like 30 minutes. That's why I kind of enjoy it. At least it's not like, it doesn't feel like cheap shock value though. There's like cool stuff there. But it's funny that logic of like entertainment merge with like documentaries. Let's find interesting stuff just because they're fun to watch. Shocking documentaries. So what do you think? What do you thought? What's your thoughts? Do you enjoy this? I really enjoy this. I what time is it? 3:30? I really enjoy this. I kind of want to do more, but I don't know. I kind of said I wanted to watch, play some TFT. Maybe we could watch like a podcast if you want. Again, I don't know what you do when you watch my stream. You have like something else on the side. You could draw something. Put me on the second monitor, kind of in the background. We could listen to some music for a while. I kind of want to do one game of TFT, to be fair. So I'll do that. I'll do one game of TFT. Just to chill. While we can do something else at the same time. It was not bad. I actually enjoy. Yeah, me too. I feel like it's like this type of content I really want